I blew up my successful interior designer business one late evening in a heartbeat. Let me tell you a story leading into that so you wouldn't be caught off guard and rather lift your business up instead of letting it go. Let's go for it. Roughly 3 or 4 years ago, me and my family started to build a house. Well, not ourselves. Builders start to build, architects did their job, and suddenly a construction site manager who was and still is my friend asked me man, where your electricity gonna be? Where your electricity sockets, switches, where lights gonna be? I told him, here's my office. I think that's gonna be living room with TV. We have a kitchen. And I suddenly realized I have no clue. In university, I used Google SketchUp 3D modeling software. And since then, I use that for some tiny projects of mine. And I thought now came real challenge. I'm gonna sketch my house on top of floor plan and put some dots where my electricity socket should be. Well, that turned out to be not so easy because I can't place electricity sockets without knowing where my furniture gonna be. If I don't know where my TV gonna be, where my shelf gonna be, I don't want my electricity sockets to be behind the bed. So in general, what I had to do, I had to raise my walls, place my furniture where I wanted to be, then actually plan electricity so I could hand over to construction site manager. However, in addition to that, to imagine how my house gonna look like, I also applied some materials and lights and actually did some tiny walk through my corridors, and actually it ended up in fully fledged design. And after that, my wife threw in an idea. Well, you did it for ourselves, what if other people would pay for that? And that just blew my mind, really, I already imagined I'm getting rich quickly, And I quickly crafted website, I uploaded my house as a portfolio, crafted the logo, brand name, URL domain, found the website where freelancers like me, interior designers, posting their services and looking for clients, and time came to wait. And to be honest, it wasn't that long time to find my first client. Man, it was a good feeling, and I was giving all to it. I was working hard. Worth to mention, at the time I had a full-time job, so my entrepreneurship and design work became like a hobby job for evenings, where I was spending most of the time. I didn't have to wait for long when second client came along. When you're negotiating with your potential clients, you never know who's from them gonna pick you as their interior designer. So you're sometimes talking with multiple clients at the same time, like 3 or 4, and sometimes they just gone silent, they don't reply you any longer. And from time to time, I picked up more and more clients. Well, I was considering myself a beginner at the time, so my prices were quite affordable, least to say. So my clients were happy, though my evening time was not so much. And projects just started to pour in, and I started to actually miss deadlines. I got tired and anxiety kicked in, and at the same time I got an offer from one company. Let's say tiny business. What they were doing, they were actually picking up small flats, refurbishing them and selling out. For me, it was like a permanent client which would offer me project after project, like one project in 1 or 2 weeks. I had only 3 requirements from them, and they were quite simple, so sometimes quite challenging. Very straightforward. They wanted to get designs fast. They wanted materials to be cheap. And they wanted those materials to be in the local shops or in local warehouses so they could get them fast. And guess what? Yeah, I signed that too. So I had a couple of projects running. I also signed contract with the company, and I started deliver after deliver. My evenings got horrible. My weekends got fully occupied. I had no rest. As I was working on so many projects, I realized I need to optimize. So I crafted templates, refined contracts, collected a huge base of decorations for my 3D designs, which I'm usually using in them. which fits my style and usually fits clients' needs. Also downloaded some lighting concepts for ambient light, for functional light, for main light. So I had almost everything ready. I just need to figure out what design I want to build on. After such preparation, I thought like, I can pick one more project on top of what I'm doing. Like, everything it seems streamlined. Well, guess I was wrong. Last project of mine was 2-store cottage for the client, so demanding for attention that it completely blew up my stamina. I was sitting in the middle of the night, looking at the floor plans. I was thinking, what the hell am I doing with my life? I navigated to advertisement website, removed my website, stopped my domain, stopped my website, and that was over for my interior design career. Simply not because I couldn't find the clients. The problem was I couldn't manage the workload correctly, and that simply I overburned. Fail fast. That is quite often a term for entrepreneurs. Maybe it sounds ridiculous, but makes sense. I took a break, and after coming to my senses, I realized my mistakes. And actually, I want to share them with you, and you might consider that as my reasoning to coming back to interior design. We need to learn that and burn it into our veins even before we starting all what we're planning. It will work, believe me. Whatever you do, should you be consistent and continue doing what you do, it will eventually work. The only thing what can stop you is you. Portfolio speaks for itself. Let your clients judge you. Don't think that you're not good enough. It's like for searching for a job. If you, before applying, thinking you are not good enough, you never get that job. Let the manager say that you're not good enough. Let your client look at your portfolio and say that you're not good enough. You don't need to tell to your client that I'm gonna do better than my portfolio. No, you're gonna do exactly how your portfolio looks. And if client's satisfied with that, he will buy it. Find the platform where designers find their clients. You will find yours as well. Price tag. Maybe in the beginning we lacking courage to ask more money for our work, but do not hesitate to raise your price should you feel that your work is undervalued. Be prepared for opportunity. Business is a path of opportunities. Just by doing what you've been doing, you never grow. Be prepared for that moment, like that company which came to me. Maybe it could be some, enterprise will come to you and says, do you want to work together? Be prepared for that. Prepare your templates, prepare your contracts, prepare your plans, price tag. Be ready. However, do not overcommit. Should you be in a hurry, miss deadlines, either your clients will suffer or your quality will suffer, and as a result, your clients as well. And just before we go, let me know if you want to know more about my solo business as interior designer. Maybe how much I earned back in time, maybe how I designed my house, how my projects was looking. Just leave plus in the comment or ask your questions, and I'm gladly create another video about that, or reply to your comment at least with an answer. I just want to be a humble guy who actually tells everything, all successes and failures.